Ah, the Book of Revelation. For centuries, we've seen it as this terrifying, locked-away prophecy about the end of the world. But what if we've been trying to open it with the wrong key? What if it's not about the future at all? What if it's actually one of the most profound maps of the human mind ever written? Today, we're going to try a different key. So that's the big question on the table. Are we looking at a literal timeline of future wars, plagues, and destruction? Or is it a symbolic story about the breakdown and the breakthrough of the human ego? This whole model we're exploring today bets everything on that second idea. It's a psychological reading of the apocalypse. Okay, the first key to unlocking this whole thing is to just completely flip our sense of time. We have to rethink everything. You know that 1,000-year reign of peace, the millennium that everyone thinks is in the future? Well, what if it's already happened? What if it's in our past? Just that one shift, it changes absolutely everything. So here is how this new timeline looks. From about 500 to 1500 AD, that was the millennium. Now, it wasn't a perfect utopia, not by a long shot, but it was a time when there was basically one big, unified story everyone followed. The model calls this constrained deception. But then, around 1500, that one big story just shatters into a million pieces, and we enter what's called the Little Season, a chaotic free-for-all of competing ideas, what you could call unleashed deception. And today? Well, according to this map, we're at a major tipping point. And this is so crucial to understand. In this view, when a society starts pointing fingers and scapegoating groups, it's not because those groups are actually the problem. It's a symptom. It's like a fever. It shows that the main culture is sick, that it's unstable and decaying from the inside. The problem isn't out there, it's in here. All right, so you've got this wild new timeline, but what about all the crazy characters? The dragon, the beasts, all of it? Well, this is where the master key comes in. The entire code of revelation, according to this model, hinges on one simple substitution. Get this one, and the whole thing clicks into place. It really is that simple. One idea that changes how you see every single verse. Ready for it? Here it is, the master key. In this interpretation, Satan is not some red guy with a pitchfork. It's a symbol for the collective human ego. All of our pride, all our fear, our need to be right, our tendency to create an us versus them. That's the dragon. Once you make that one mental switch, the entire book transforms from a horror story into a story about us. Now for the next big piece of the puzzle, the structure of Revelation. It feels totally chaotic, right? Just a bunch of random, terrifying visions, but it's not. In fact, it's not even a new story. It's following a hidden blueprint. It's a direct, symbolic echo of the Bible's first 5 books, the Torah, just retold on a cosmic scale. I mean, just look at this. The parallels are incredible. Genesis kicks things off with creation, right? Revelation ends with a new creation. Exodus is all about plagues and deliverance from bondage. Revelation, it has cosmic plagues and a great deliverance into a new covenant. You can see it, right? It's the same 5-act play, just spiraling up to a higher, more psychological level. Okay, so let's put it all together. We have our new timeline, we have our master key, Satan is the ego, and we have the blueprint, the Torah. With these tools, we can finally stop reading Revelation as a terrifying future and start reading it as a psychological process, a journey that humanity is on right now. So those famous judgments, the seals, the trumpets, and the bowls, they aren't just random acts of destruction. They're a step-by-step process. Step 1, the seals. This is the internal awakening. It's the moment we first look in the mirror and go, uh-oh, there's a problem here. Step 2, the trumpets. This is when the external world starts reflecting our internal problems back at us. It's the consequences of our ego-driven actions playing out. And the bowls? That's the grand finale. The total, purifying collapse of that old way of being, which finally clears the ground for something new to grow. And if you need more proof about that Torah connection, look no further. It's practically a copy-paste job. In Exodus, the Nile turns to blood. In Revelation, the seas and rivers become blood. Darkness over Egypt, darkness over the beast's kingdom. A plague of boils? Yep, that's in there too. This isn't an accident. It's a deliberate, symbolic callback. All the other famous characters fit right into this psychological map too. The beast from the sea? That's the ego showing up as raw political power. Empires, nationalism, conquest. The beast from the land is its partner in crime. Ideological power, propaganda, fundamentalism, rigid dogma. The false prophet? That's that little voice inside all of us that justifies our worst behavior. And the mark of the beast? Forget about microchips. It's a way of thinking. It's choosing an identity based on fear and tribalism instead of connection. So, this is all fascinating as a literary theory, but what about us? What does it mean for right now? You see, the real power of any map is that it lets you find your own location. And this model has a pretty startling idea about where we are standing today. So, where are we on this map? We are right at the most critical moment of the entire story. The model suggests we've already been through the internal awakening of the seals, and we are living right in the middle of the chaotic external consequences of the trumpets. And that means we are standing right on the threshold of the final stage, the great purification of the bowls. I mean, just look around. Doesn't that feel familiar? We see old institutions built on ego starting to crumble under their own weight. We see technology making it harder and harder to hide the truth. Deception seems louder than ever. But maybe that's just the sound it makes during its death throes. This model says we're in a collective spiritual adolescence. You know how that is. Awkward, chaotic, messy, but on the very edge of growing up. So, in the end, if Revelation isn't a terrifying prophecy of doom, but a timeless map of the journey from ego to true self, then maybe we've been asking the wrong question this whole time. Maybe the question isn't, when will the world end? The real question is, where on that map are we right now? And more importantly, what's the next step on the journey?